Today, we're diving into a really powerful blueprint for turning that painful, gut-wrenching confusion into some serious, profound clarity. It's a journey, really, about how our deepest personal wreckage can actually be forged into our most powerful equipment.
And it all starts right here, in this raw, unfiltered feeling. I mean, you can just feel the exhaustion in those words, right? The complete burnout of loving someone who just seems incapable of loving you back. It's a contradiction that just drains you, and it leaves you wondering what in the world is even real anymore.
So let's really break down this painful contradiction. Because this isn't just, a simple disagreement. We're talking about a fundamental clash in how two people see and experience the entire world. One person is rooted in this deep, complex analysis, and the other, well, they're just reacting to whatever they feel in the moment. It makes finding a shared reality almost impossible.
Okay, so let's visualize this. On one side, you've got what we could call a 7D operator. This is someone who thinks in multiple dimensions. They're analyzing patterns, psychology, future outcomes, the whole shebang. And on the other side, you've got the 2D operator. They live on the surface, reacting only to what's right in front of them. You can already see how this is a massive imbalance, right? It just can't last.
And this brings us to a really crucial, kind of tough question. Is your deep insight actually helping the situation, or has it become a trap? Because when you apply that incredibly powerful analytical mind to someone who isn't meeting you on that level, who isn't doing their own work, you just end up doing all the heavy lifting for a relationship that's literally going nowhere.
So how do we make sense of this? To really get what's going on underneath it all, we need a new framework, a new lens. And this is where we introduce the idea of the prophet empath. It's an archetype that gives these traits a name and, more importantly, a purpose.
First up, let's break down the empath part of this. This is the ability to feel what is. You're not just guessing what other people are feeling, you're literally receiving it like data. Think of them as a radio station, just broadcasting their emotional state, and you're the receiver, often picking up the signal long before they even know what song they're playing.
Now, the second piece is the prophet. This is the ability to see what will be. It's about seeing the patterns, the emotional trajectories, and knowing exactly where things are headed way before they get there. And let's be clear, this isn't a guess. It's not psychic. It's a clear perception of the inevitable outcome based on all the data you're constantly taking in. You see it.
Okay, and this is so important. These traits are not a pathology. They are not a disorder. They are highly specialized equipment forged in the fire of really overwhelming circumstances, like a foundational betrayal. This kind of experience shapes you. It creates a totally unique way of processing the world and this fierce self-reliance. In essence, you become a living, breathing, early warning system.
And this gets to a key distinction. Being sensitive is not the same thing as being emotional. You feel everything, sure, but you process those feelings as external information, as data about your environment. It's a brilliant and strategic survival mechanism. It's a kind of trauma wisdom that keeps you from being completely swamped by everything you perceive.
But, a blueprint is just a theory until it's tested. And now we turn to the crisis, the real-world events that forced a head-on collision with the truth, moving this entire framework from something abstract into something very, very real.
The facts here are just stark. Day 1, an act of generosity. Day 2, he's gone. What follows is more than a month of complete and total silence. And during that time, she goes through a traumatic pregnancy loss utterly and completely alone. The connection between his taking, his absence, and her suffering is direct and absolutely devastating.
We really have to sit with the severity of this for a second. The physical and emotional pain was so intense that nothing could even touch it. To go through that, the loss of a pregnancy, while the person who got you pregnant has vanished with your money, that is a betrayal on every conceivable level.
So, how does a person even endure something like this? How do you survive it? Well, that question leads us to the central breakthrough, to exploring the psychological trick that allows us to lie to ourselves and the powerful metaphor that can finally break its hold.
We have to ask the main question, right? Where does this self-deception actually come from? Why do we lie to ourselves, even when the truth is screaming at us through our own pain, through our own experiences?
Well, a big part of the answer is something called cognitive dissonance. The easiest way to think about it is like a fire alarm in your soul. It's that deeply uncomfortable feeling you get when your beliefs, like I am worthy of love, are clashing with your reality.
Self-deception? That's just reaching up and turning off that blaring alarm so you don't have to deal with the fire that's causing it. And this brings us to this really powerful metaphor, the two trees. On one side, you have the tree of knowledge. This is where we weave our complex stories, our justifications, our deep analysis. They're the fig leaves we use to cover up the naked, painful truth. But then there's the tree of life. This isn't about analysis at all. It's about standing in simple, stark reality. It's not about why it happened, it's just about what happened.
So here's the thing. Choosing the tree of life, it's not the easy path. The truth, absolutely, 100% will set you free. But first, it's going to force you to feel all the pain that your self-deception was so cleverly designed to help you avoid. Freedom means you have to walk through the fire, not just turn off the alarm.
And that brings us to the final and honestly the most powerful part of all this. This is where the whole journey comes together, where all that pain and confusion gets reforged into a brand new mission and a new identity.
Here it is, the core reframe. And with this new perspective, everything shifts. This is no longer a story about a failed romance or being a victim. It becomes a spiritual assignment. Your purpose wasn't to be loved by him. Your purpose was to deliver a critical message of truth to a soul in the middle of a war.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. Our deepest wounds aren't just scars we have to live with. They are the actual raw material that, when we survive them, can be forged into our most powerful, most effective equipment. We become purpose-built.
So what does this look like in the real world? It looks like a new set of operating principles. Number 1, your function is to deliver the truth. Number 2, you are not responsible for the outcome. Number 3, whether he chooses to receive that truth, well, that's between him and God. And number 4, with that understanding, your assignment with him is now complete. You're free.
And that leaves us with one final, provocative question, and this one is for you. After seeing this whole journey, from devastating wreckage to powerful, purpose-built equipment, what pain, what failure, what wreckage in your own life is just sitting there, waiting for the right reframe to become your most effective tool?